Hi folks, just jumping on for a quick video. I want to talk about deal sources, deal packages, property traders, whatever you want to call it. Let's call it property deal sourcing for now. The video is prompted by a couple of things. Firstly, different stories I've seen over the last 2 to 3 weeks about people getting ripped off by alleged deal sources, property deal sources, taking money up front and then not delivering on what they've promised and not returning the money. So, and the other reason is the amount of ads I'm now seeing, and I know because I'm a property investor and I've got a podcast, I will see these ads more than most people, but the amount of ads I'm seeing for training to be a deal sourcer, packager, property trader, etc. Now, I think part of the problem for all these dishonest people that are scamming people out there is the training. And I'm not going to pick on any one trainer in particular, because I think that'd be unfair, and not with them not having a chance to answer back. I'll come back to me on it. So, but I'm going to generalise that I am aware there's a lot of trainers who do not give the amount of time needed to talk about compliance, who do not even mention it in their initial training, or in the 1 day, 1 hours training, or the 4 hours training, or the 1 day super training. They gloss over it. And that is really bad, because to legally source property for an investor, you need to be fully compliant. And this needs to be the first thing that you're told, not the last thing or thing in the middle that you spend 5 minutes glossing over. It needs to be the main thing. And investors need to be aware of this as well. You need to be looking for fully compliant sources, deal sources, property sources, not cups and saucers, sounds like that. But you need to be looking for people who have full compliance. Now, even that's not really a guarantee, because once you, and let me explain what being compliant is, I suppose it would be the next logical step. You want to look for someone who's registered with a property redress scheme, who's accredited by the ICO, who's registered with HMRC for anti-money laundering, AML, and who has professional indemnity insurance at a minimum. If they're taking money and holding it, as in the form of deposit, they need to have a dedicated client bank account, and it will say X company client bank account. It won't just say X company. It will state client bank account on it. So if you're paying into a deposit and it's not going into a client bank account, that's a red flag to me. So that's what full compliance looks like. Very, very brief overview of it. But those are the very bare minimum what you need to look for. And why I say it's not a guarantee is because even though you might be fully compliant, it doesn't mean you put the processes in place that you need to. So you'll mostly better looking for NAPSA, which is the go-to trade body really for property sources, founded by Tina Walsh, and they have deal sources that are accredited by them within their website. They have actually a whole cache of deal sources you can access through there, and they provide a great deal of information for deal sources on compliance. So if you're investors, if you are looking, give NAPSA a quick look. Just put NAPSA, it will come up. I just go through it and have a look at that, and you will find fully compliant deal sources there. So scooting to back, what I think the problem with this is, I think it comes from the training. Like I said, I think trainers certainly don't mention it in their initial 30-second video. They don't mention it in potentially the 2-hour webinar that they'll get you to attend after that. They very rarely mention it on a day's training, or if they do, they gloss over it and they spend 5-10 minutes on it, which for a subject that you need to be learned first before anything else, is not good. And that's, I think, is a problem. You'll see all these adverts out here. You can earn £3,000 to £10,000 a month. You can earn £60,000 a year. How semi-professional property investors earn this money? Well, 1 to 2 properties, you're not even semi-professional, to be honest with you, by then. Definition of a professional property investor is someone who's got at least 4 properties in their portfolio. 1 to 2 properties, you're just starting out, you're a newbie. You're not semi-professional. It might sound harsh, but it's true. I would never call myself semi-professional when I had 1 or 2 properties. I was still starting out and I was still learning. I'm still learning now. We never stop learning. So all these people saying you can earn £3,000 to £10,000 a month, you need to be aware of, and you need to fact check them when they start giving this training. Because, okay, they don't mention it in the 30-second advertisement video or the little blurb they send through. Yeah, I could see a point that there's not time to mention it there. If they don't mention it in their 2-hour webinar or the 1-hour webinar they're talking about, that's when the red flag starts going up, because it should be mentioned there right at the start. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You will need money. That's the other thing they say. No money needed, no experience needed. Well, that's absolutely bullshit. I'm sorry for swearing there, but it's BS. You need to have experience. You need to know what you're looking at. You need money to start up because you need money to pay for the compliances and the insurances. So it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not. You're not going to instantly earn £3,000 a month, £10,000 a month, etc. You need to be aware of that. And trainers, if you're watching this video, come back to me. Tell me why you don't teach compliance, or tell me what you do teach about compliance. Yeah. So you like to hear Cam Davides, Kevin McDonald. I know Kevin McDonald does. He teaches compliance. He's really good at it. But the likes of Aspire, Aaron Curry, whatever, come back to me on it. Challenge me, Samuel Leeds, challenge me on this, because I'm hearing that certain trainers say, if you're co-sourcing, you don't need compliance. Well, you do. Yeah. It's absolute BS that you're teaching if you're teaching that. So any trainers out there want to come back to me, comment on this and say, we teach compliance, or we don't believe you need compliance because of this. Come back to me on it. Let's hear your reasons for not training people in compliance. So yeah, a little bit of a rant because it really pisses me off. I've seen people get ripped off for thousands of pounds. That's not right, and it gives the professional deal sourcer a really bad name, and that's not fair. So let's out these people if you can, name and shame on your own Facebook feed. So put on mine for now. No, don't out them. It's without them having a chance to come back. But be aware, challenge them on their compliance, on not teaching compliance. And if you want to hire a deal sourcer or get involved with deal sourcer, fully check their compliance. And I highly, strongly recommend that you do it from NAPSA, not just from someone that you've seen advertising on Facebook. This is all about putting safeguards in place, making sure that you're keeping your money safe. You do not want to lose thousands of pounds to one of these people. Okay, so that's my rant for today. I'm just going to record some podcast episodes now, but that's my rant for today. So if you're an investor using deal sourcers, be aware. If you're a wannabe deal sourcer, visit NAPSA, get the proper training. If no one's teaching compliance, they're not teaching you deal sourcing properly, avoid them. Anyway, that's all from me for now. Catch you later.